All right, let's see. Let's level this bad boy up. There we go. Is that level? What do you think? So I'm trying out this handy dandy mic today. Let's see if it works good. Hey guys, welcome back to Mo and Dave. We have not put a video out in about, I don't know, almost 2 weeks. We both caught we tease about it, the Philippine crud. I got sick first. I felt a little sore throat one morning, and by that afternoon, I've been running temperatures and back and forth, and feel good for a day, and you get out and start doing things, and all of a sudden you fall back into it. Mo, she picked it up about 4 or 5 days after I did, so she's more of a trooper, but she's just now recovering. She's got about a week into it. Took me 2 weeks. I've been talking about losing weight slowly in the past, and I actually dropped 15 pounds in 2 weeks. So I'm taking it as a blessing. I was drinking a lot of water, taking multivitamins, that kind of stuff. But anyways, apologize for not getting any videos out. I was doing shorts here and there. We went to her grandmother's gravesite, brought some flowers, and she did a prayer out there just the other day. I posted a short on that. The one thing I started to think about how I want this channel to go and what information I can give, because I remember sitting there in the States just absorbing all the information I possibly could before I made a decision to finally move here permanently. And most of the stuff was bells and whistles, the white sand beaches, the sun, the women, the low cost of living, but they don't really get into the down and dirty and really tell you some of the things here that are actually scary. And I have two things I want to talk about, and both of them are safety, and it's a huge safety issue. And a little bit before I jump into the first one, my upbringing, I had a little fat 50 dirt bike, and then I ended up with an RM80, then went to a 125, and then a 250 dirt bike. Went into the service. I bought a crotch rocket, 1988 Honda Hurricane 1000. So I've been on bikes, jet skis, quads, sand rails, pretty much my whole life. And I've always been active and very used to vision, everything side to side in front of me, and distance. So I learned distance at a very young age. In the service, I was a tank commander. I knew distance. I saw everything in my peripheral, and I functioned, right? So when I came over here, first guy here was riding a scooter. I was zipping around, and it just, over time, 2 years, I just slowed way down because it's just so incredibly dangerous here. Just a quick story. We were heading to the grocery store. We have another hurricane. That's why I'm inside right now, coming in. So it's pouring rain, 8 inches of rain today, I guess. But we're heading over to the store. Got the box on the bike so we can load it up. Mo and I are cruising. There's a box van that's going pretty slow, far right side of the lane. Everybody's passing them on the left, and we're just start cruising past them. We're doing 25 kilometers an hour. And he makes a sharp left turn right when we're beside him. And she's looking in his window, and he's on his phone. He's not paying any attention. And of course, I just veer as he's turning. I'm veering, thinking, and giving a little gas to get away from him. They don't look here. Nobody looks. It's your job to avoid anybody that drives uncontrollably. Anybody that comes on from a side street, they don't ever look to the left to pull out. They keep their head to the right and they just pull out. It's your job to avoid them. So over the last probably 6 months, I've slowed down and backed off from everybody. I don't get mad anymore. I just sit back and relax, because I know you're cruising down the road and a trike's parked right there, and he'll just turn his wheel and pull because he wants to go the other way on the road. He'll just pull right in front of you. He doesn't care. They don't look. So I'm trying to give you some safety things here. I don't care how long you've been on a scooter or a motorcycle or Harley or crotch rocket or whatever you want to ride. This is not the place to be showing off. this is a place where you better just learn to lay back, relax, and just expect every single person beside you and in front of you to pull out in front of you. If a guy's in the far right lane and you're just cruising, he will take a left in front of you to go left. He won't get to the left of the side of the lane. He'll stay right in the right side of the lane and just veer across everybody. They don't look. It's not like the West where we have stoplights, stop signs, yield signs, arrows, directions, whatever. It's nothing like that. It's slow down, relax, because if you don't, you're going to drive yourself nuts by screaming and yelling. You don't want to be doing that in the public here anyways, because they're going to look at you like you're crazy. This is how they drive here. We're not in their country. We got to figure it out, man. It's tough. It's real tough. The other part of that is Mo and I, we ride every night, just go out and we cruise the back sides of the city and the back barangay roads. And we just kind of cruise around through the rice fields and just enjoy each other's time for an hour and a half every night. We took diversion all the way in the backside of Calbayog, and as we're coming back into the city, it was right on a big turn, and there was a ton of people out there, just a ton of them, and they all had their cameras out, and Mo said, must be an accident. I'm like, okay. So as we're going around all the people, there's a lady laying there, and she's hurt, and she's hurt bad, and everybody's videoing it. And I said, Mo, I got to pull over and go help her. And she said, no, you can't touch her. You got to wait till the ambulance gets there. I'm thinking, what? I want to touch and help. I want to stop the bleeding on her head. I want to put something on her face where her face was cut open pretty bad. And you don't do that here. So I started thinking, well, hell, what happens if I get in a serious wreck? And this is why I started to slow way down. And the power just went out. You've got to be kidding me. I'll get back to this video shortly. Sorry about that. We had a little quick brownout, I guess. It's really raining hard outside, guys. So now the printer's going crazy. The computers are probably doing their thing. I don't know. Whatever. But anyways, I wanted to pull over and I wanted to help this lady because she needed first aid. And I've done this multiple times in the States. I've been to accidents. I've pulled a person out of a burning car with a couple other people. That's what we do. We're taught to help each other in first aid and CPR if we have to. Most of us are taught that in high school, in military, or at our job. So here, you don't touch people. Now, if you get a little scooter wreck and you just fall over and no foul, no hurt, no big injury, people will help you pick your bike up and shoot you on your way. Not a big deal. But if you're injured, you can't touch them. You can't do anything. So say I get in a wreck. I break my femur and the bone's sticking out of my thigh. And I'm bleeding pretty good. And I pulled my belt off and I wrap it around my leg and I tighten that thing down because I don't know if I hit an artery. I'm just stopping the bleeding. When I look up, there's gonna be 1,000 cameras on me and not one person helping me. And when the ambulance gets there, there's no EMT in the ambulance. It's just an ambulance. It's a white shell with, strobe lights on top of it. They'll throw you in the back, right there on the steel, lay you down there, and then they drive you to the hospital. And then if you don't have cash right away to pay for the services, you'll lay in the gurney in the hallway until somebody delivers the cash to mend your bones or give you stitches or whatever you want. So those are some tough things to think about here. So you need to slow down when you come over. Try your best to watch everybody's movements because every time I get done riding now, I'm exhausted. I'm mentally tired because I'm constantly watching when I'm in the city areas. On the provinces, I'm good. We can cruise around and enjoy our time. But once you start coming into the city, it is no rules. There's 2 stop signs in the whole Calbayog city that I know about, and they just drive through those anyways. And there's no rules. It's just a free-for-all. The other thing is you got to watch out for safety-wise, and this is all grouped into one, is buses and the white transportation vans. Buses here, they'll smoke you. They'll run you off the road. So when you see them in the mirror, I just get over on the side and just let them blow by because they have this thing in their head that they have to be at that other pickup spot exactly at the right time. and they won't be 5 minutes late because of traffic. They will go down the opposite side of the highway, and all the scooters will be flying off the highway because they're going to make it their timeline. So just a couple weeks ago, there was a young lady and her child walking down the street, and one of those transport vans smoked them both, killed them. And there's no fault. There's no prison time. There's no jail. There's none of that. It's a no fault issue. Civilians do not have any rights on the road. Zero. You'll see an old lady standing on the side of the road trying to cross, and there'll be tons of traffic at rush hour. Nobody will stop for her. They'll let her stand there for 30 minutes. Nobody will stop. Everybody's in a hurry to get to wherever they're going, and there's no pedestrian right-of-ways anywhere. They'll have the walkways painted on the ground. No one cares about that stuff. There'll be 10 kids standing on the side of the street, and traffic will not stop for those children at all. So I'm just trying to bring some reality of the Philippines, and it's a frustration that I've learned to deal with. At first, I couldn't comprehend it, and I'm just trying to give you some insight on what to expect here. So when you go to walk across the street, you walk fast, and if you see a van, transport van or a bus coming, do not walk out there. These buses will go through the barangay. Houses are built 3 feet off the road, and these kids are running in and out. And these buses are running 70 kilometers an hour right through that barangay. I mean, 3 feet from their house, just boom. And you know, kids and dogs and everything else gets hit around here, and it's almost like a license to. I won't go any further into that. But yeah, if you get injured here and you don't have the money right away at the hospital, they will not work on you until you have a means of paying for that service. So best bet, if you come over here and you can afford a vehicle, 4 wheels, enclosure, more safety. If you're not good on a scooter, I would suggest that, highly suggest that part. The other part was there's been some kidnappings. A couple of people from China have been kidnapped, one from Korea or somewhere, and then one American. They haven't found him yet. And I don't know if I think that was national news, but it's not pushed real hard. A young guy that moved into an area he shouldn't have been in. And I listened to my wife a lot. When we went out for her to see her grandmother at the grave site and for bringing flowers. We've been out there before, but we've always been out there when other people were there. We stopped at her mom's house and said, "Hey, we're gonna take flowers out to Grandma's grave," and her brother's like, "Not without me." So these little barangays, they know when people are in their area that aren't the nicest people. And he went and got a scooter, and he escorted us all the way there, and then walked us all the way back into the gravesite, which is way far back in. It's a very large gravesite, and you got to crawl through, and it's hard to get to. Anyways, I kind of looked at that thinking, you know, I'm this big burly guy, I'm tough, and I've been through some stuff, but I'm also older, and I really don't want to fight anybody. I will to protect, of course, but her brother escorted us out there, escorted us to the gravesite, stood there. There were some people out there, not the nicest looking, but he's well known in that community, and people don't want to mess with him because then you mess with his family. So listen to your family. When Mo and I are out riding, and I say, "Hey, let's take this road up into the mountains," and she'll say, "No, we can't go up there." After the experience going to her mom's house and her brother escorting us there the other day, I started to really think about safety here. And there's places that you just shouldn't go. And we think we're all tough and big and bad, but when there's numbers, numbers always win. So I guess the big thing was know your surroundings at all times, whether you're on a scooter, riding out in the provinces somewhere, and if somebody says, "Hey, don't go that way," don't go that way. Stay out of those areas. Come to find out, when we got back to the house, I say, "Hey, what's going on?" Well, 5 guys approached somebody and they stole all the stuff. just a couple weeks ago out there. So there's some individuals that have come down out of the mountains that don't really belong in that area, but the barangays know that they're there, and they just let be. And as long as they don't mess around with the families, it's okay. So, the longer I'm here, the more my eyes are open, and the more I'm becoming aware of what's going on. I think it takes time, and you have to trust whoever you're with. So if you're involved with a female and you're in a place and you start feeling a little unsafe, good chances are it just might be unsafe. So my two safety things: your surroundings, be careful when you're driving, always have a medical plan, or means or cash are available to pay for yourself, a debit card, credit card, whatever. But yeah, if you haven't been riding a bike for a long time, I suggest four-wheel drive, four wheels, not four-wheel drive, but four wheels, a car, a truck, whatever you want to get. But just be safe when you come over here. Always wear a helmet, always wear eye protection. I see so many people here without it. Mo and I wear it in the main areas. We usually take the helmet off when we get off the main areas and we're heading to the barangay or parents' house, because then we just cruise 15, 20 kilometers an hour and we talk. We're not in a hurry to get anywhere anymore. So just remember, you're here, you're retired, take your time, stop being a hothead. You're not in America, and things don't work the same here, and accept it. So sorry I haven't been putting out a lot of videos. We'll start cranking them out here soon. I'm still a little under the weather, and I still got a temperature after 2 weeks on and off, so hopefully this goes away. But the benefit of it is lost 15 pounds. So anyways, you guys take care. If you have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Have a good weekend.